Alrighty, that makes sense.
Don't bother explaining anything to the luchador. He won't get it. He doesn't get it. You have to spell it out for him.
Eat shit, dude.
Hey, Uncle Lloydie, I have a question. Have you ever seen what happens to a corpulent luchador when you zap his ass with about 50,000 volts?
Don't you even freaking think about it.
Oops. I suppose I should have only used about 40,000 volts.
Holy shit!
Oh, there was nothing holy about that.
Let's get the marshmallows. And you know, how about the KY jellies?
Dude, what the hell? Bring him back!
Oh, you know as well as I do that he had it coming.
That may be, but no Fantastico, no show.
How you doing? I am doing fantastic because I am joined by the one and only Gringo Fantastico, host of Disaster Piece Theater on Tromaville, and so many more accolades that we will get into. A true inspiration to me. How are you doing, my man?
What up, homie? I'm doing all right. Just chilling like a villain.
Glad to have you on the show.
This is actually break. This is a nice break for me from having to do a bunch of weird stuff. So I'm very happy to be here.
You're a busy dude. I'm glad to have you on. You're listening to WrestleRoni. Actually, this time you're seeing WrestleRoni. You can see him. He's right here. I can't believe it. We got video from you. Thank you, my man.
Man, no problem, dude.
how before we get into everything, just how's life right now? You blew up like a mofo.
It's still weird. I've got very, very weird imposter syndrome and stuff. Like, people are like, "Oh yeah, you're that guy," and I'm like, "Wait, who?" And I'm like, "Oh, they're talking to me." Oh yeah.
when the Troma announcement, I was excited, but I'll tell you when I knew that you were really going places. That the picture on Twitter, it was everywhere of you standing there and those kids gawking at you.
Oh, at the jamboree with the they had the beauty pageant show.
There you are standing and these kids just looking at you in fear.
See, the funny part about that picture was that wasn't even the first time I ran into that girl with the one that was scared.
Oh yeah.
Like I had right before that, probably maybe 5 minutes before that, mm-hmm. I was in the elevator with her. Mm-hmm. I've never seen a kid fly against the wall of an elevator as fast as that girl did. I felt really bad. Like it was funny. I felt really bad that I was scaring these children until like I was walking down the hall and there was this tiny, tiny little girl. She probably maybe 6 years old, maybe 7. Mm-hmm. She walks up, like tugs on my coat, and I look over and she's like, "Can I have a selfie with you?"
Aww.
And I was like, okay, I feel better about it now. It's just, I'm not that scary if the littler ones are okay with me.
Gringo Fantastico is for the children, by God.
I wouldn't go that far. Do not let your children watch my show.
Oh, man. If you guys haven't seen Disaster Piece Theater, plop down your $5 or even get a free trial to Troma now because it's amazing. It's so good. I'll tell the folks how I found it. A mutual friend of ours mentioned it on Twitter, and I said, wait, a luchador is hosting horror movies? Like, this is made for me. And I checked it out, loved it, and just watching that first episode I watched, I don't know, it sounds corny, but I see so much of myself in you, and you have inspired me. Obviously, you've inspired me because here I'm doing things. So before we get too deep, thank you. You are a fucking inspiration.
I appreciate that, dude. I don't know. I mean, I'm not used to being the inspiration. I'm used to being the one that inspires people to run away, or I can't even inspire myself to get up to mow the yard. So
I feel that. I
But
feel it.
yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that I was able to motivate you, and inspire you to do what you do because you're doing really well yourself, man. Your stuff's picked up really quick. Um, it's just like you started it, and then it was like, bam! I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, this guy's got a huge following already. That's great. I was
Thank you.
very, very happy for you.
Man, that's good stuff. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm having the time of my life. Obviously, you are, dude. Guys out here hanging out with Joe Bob and Darcy and Lloyd Kaufman. We're definitely going to get into that. I got Lloyd is been to talk about inspirations. That dude, I've read all of his books. We'll get into that, man. I've got so much I want to cover with you. Folks might not know you've dipped your toes in the wrestling business, haven't you?
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, where I got the start for this character, it's really actually kind of a fun story as to how I got started in the business.
Okay, let's hear it.
Um, so I've been this luchador character for a while. I've put on the lucha mask back in 2007,
Okay.
and I haven't stopped. So, but so it's been a grind. But basically, what was going on was I was in college for filmmaking. I was in film school, and I was writing a screenplay about something. I was like, well, and this is when it was a little bit later. So this is when The Wrestler came out. You know, the movie with Mickey Rourke.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, how do I Mel Brooks this? And
Okay.
so I wrote a movie called The Wrestler,
Okay.
and it was just a bunch of just really funny shenanigans. It was all about like really terrible indie promoter like ripping people off, and based on and I wrote it, and what happened was in order to be able to write it properly, I actually went kind of undercover and got trained to be a wrestler,
Oh.
and just so I could write this and make sure I wasn't like just make sure I was being honest and as close to a real life scenario as I could get.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun, but oh my gosh, um, I met a lot of really really strange people. But when I was writing it, I wrote this character that I play, and I played him, and we started filming the movie and all that, but I didn't know what I was doing at the time. So I wrote this character called Gringo Fantastico, who was kind of like the mentor character of the main character of the films. Like it was kind of like my character would lurk in the shadows. So this guy would be having some stuff going on with the promoter, and all of a sudden you'd see like a Michael Myers face reveal with in the background, and I'd be like, "Yes, let me explain to you
Shit.
about and that's kind of how the character came about. And it's just the character itself it's just been huge. And I chose a luchador because when I was growing up as a kid, I was very close to a Hispanic family, and they were really big into lucha libre, and one of their relatives was a luchador. I can't remember who it was. He was kind of low, he was lower tier, but he was a luchador. So I got to learn all about lucha libre and how wrestling worked there and stuff like that. And they were such good friends. They were like family to me. So this is me kind of paying homage to them as well. So that's why I don't take the mask off very often. So
Uh-huh.
you just keep up the mystique, and because that's the whole lucha tradition.
Wow. That's awesome. Is this movie available to watch? How do we see this movie?
No, you probably will never see this movie.
Fair enough. I tried.
I may go back and try to do it again, but it's one of those ones where I didn't know what I was doing, and I wrote it and everything, and it was just like it was very crass, and it would not be able to be made now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was a different
It's-
time. I got you. I was making crazy
yeah.
stuff there that would get me canceled. I got you.
I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was just like, oh yeah, okay, so I'm a little more, and I was a lot younger now. Now I'm older and I'm calmer about stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
So
And
I'm
what?
like, no, if that's a good idea. But
And you know
So-
what? And the proof's in the pudding. You have such a cool community around you. If you look on your social media, tune into the AEW post show that you do on Twitter Spaces. I encourage everybody. You've got a lot of really cool, awesome humans around you. Whenever I see your community and the Twitter Spaces that you do, a lot of cool folks in there. That's a lot of fun.
But yeah, it is a really, really nice community. And I have to say, like, the community actually made me a better person. Just trying to, I'm not trying to be all like crazy and heartfelt because really I'm just a crazy mofo anyway. But it really was good for me, like having these people around me. So you included.
Thank you. Thank you. So you wrote the movie. You trained to be a wrestler to write a movie. That's insane, by the way. uh, so we got to go. What about your first match? Do you recall your first match?
Yes. So it was really funny because when I was helping them put up the ring, and then when we put up the ring, I was in there taking bumps on this ring just so I could make sure that was going to hit the ropes the right way to see how tight they were, to make sure the mat was fine, and it was a pretty decent ring. But I did my finishing maneuver because it's a weird finishing maneuver where it's called the ridiculous, and I go and because my luchador persona, I'm afraid of heights, and I'm the only luchador in history that's afraid of heights, I think. So I go and I jump off. I go to do and I run and jump off spring off of the ropes and come back with an elbow.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how they always jump to the top or the middle. I don't. I always jump on the bottom.
Okay.
Because I'm afraid of heights, and I'll jump down. And I came back, and when I did it, when I was practicing in the ring, I gave myself a stinger.
Oh, shit.
Like right before the show started. So I was already just like, shaking off some of those little Tweety birds. But in the match started. It was fun because I actually was the promoter for the match too.
Okay.
I put the match together, which was really cool because it was kind of a promotion thing with a cross promotion thing with another pre-established company who was nice enough. It was actually the one promoter who was nice enough to let me in.
Oh, cool.
Which I owe this guy a lot of credit because to this day he's still very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we did this cross promotion match, and then it was a bunch of guys that had been wrestling for 20 years. A couple guys have been wrestling for maybe 10, and then there was me in my first match ever. And they all knew, and they were just like, trying to take care of me and stuff, but they were like, okay, this is your first match, so we're going to beat the hell out of you.
Right.
And I'm like, whatever, guys, just bring it. I can take it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the span of, I come into the ring, and I let these two younger guys, throw me around a little bit, and just trying to do this whole thing. And then they all started wanting to do their spots on me, right? I was an easy target, I guess. So I'm like, whatever, guys, do your worst. So I get a shooting star press put on me right off the bat.
Oh, shit.
First thing, I'm like, oh, well, here we go. We're going to find out if I can take this thing. So I take a shooting star press, and then I get put in a double submission. So both guys are putting me in. One guy's got me in a figure four, and the other's got me in like a Kimura type lock.
Okay.
So, and then I get out of that. I roll out of the ring, because at this point I'm just like, it's my first match. I don't want to go too crazy or anything like that. And these guys have been doing this forever, so I don't want to, like, with me promoting the match, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I got out of the ring, and it was a battle royal situation. It was like a Royal Rumble situation where, like, every 5 minutes a new person came in.
Gotcha.
And so as I got out of the ring, one of my really good friends, one of the people that helped train me, came down with a kendo stick and just beat the holy shit out of me.
Oh, shit.
With this kendo stick. I got cracked in the back, cracked in the head. I think maybe I took like 6 shots.
Okay.
Or something like I took like 4 or 5 to the gut, and then I took like 1 or 2 to the back or something. I don't remember exactly. And then as soon as I dropped from that shot with the kendo, another one of my people comes around the corner and just bashes me over the head with the freaking speed limit sign.
Oh, shit.
Like it's and then I'm just like, ugh, and then I fall back from that, and then I look up and I'm getting a shooting star press from the top, from the ring to like almost like a plancha. It was a plancha. It wasn't a shooting star, but a plancha right there onto me, right as I went down from the. So I got this little just bam, 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 and at that point I was just like, this is fun.
Right.
So I didn't have too many matches because my wife is not a big fan of wrestling, and she wasn't a fan of me learning to wrestle, and she still. So I wasn't allowed to do too much, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. My first match was a very, very fun experience of getting the hell beat out of me.
You got to live the dream.
I did.
Hell,
I did.
hell yeah. And I know, and I hope you'll share. I know you've got some crazy backstage stories you've told me. Is there anything you can share with my audience that might entertain them as far as crazy wrestling stories?
I can tell you the story from the Iron Sheik and Coco Beware. I think
Let's-
have you. I think I told you that story, right?
I'm not sure I recall Coco. I think I'd remember Coco Beware.
All
Everybody
right.
got an Iron Sheik story, but this is, yeah, we got to hear this.
So okay, so this is a story that was told by Coco Beware. All right.
Okay.
So about his time wrestling the Iron Sheik. So Coco and Sheik are wrestling, and Sheik grabs him and puts him in a really tight headlock, and he's like, Coco, work the gimmick, work the gimmick. So Coco Beware, the Birdman, starts doing the bird thing, in the headlock to get the crowd all revved up, and Sheik just grabs him a little tighter and he's just like, no, 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 I said, work the gimmick. And Coco's like, okay. So he starts doing it again, and Sheik just gets really mad. He just keeps getting more and more angry. So he tightens it up, and Coco's like, what are you doing? He's like, no, work the gimmick. And he's like, what are you talking about? And Sheik says, USA. And Coco's like, I can't work that gimmick. And Sheik's like, why not? Because we're in fucking Canada.
Well, Iron Sheik, God bless you. I know you're a listener, and man, you're a character. You're a blessing to the business, and we all know that. Same with Coco Beware. I recall you saying something about Congo Kong and Sabu one time as well.
Okay, so Congo got mad at me once. Which
I'm already
Congo's
mad.
a Congo's a big guy, so I mean
Yeah.
I'm not a small guy, but this dude, like, I mean, I'm 6'1" or whatever, and I'm like 350, but Congo, he's a huge dude.
Yeah.
And he got mad at me for a spot that I did with someone else, because we were just having a good time at this one show.
Mhm.
And I pulled the whole like heel turn, like I was outside the ring with one of the heels, and I pulled out of my shirt. I pulled out a referee shirt and put it on
Okay.
when the ref didn't see me, and I grabbed him, yanked him out of the ring, came in and fast counted the guy. Like just to be just a real cheap heat heel move. And when I got in the back, Congo was really mad, and he was yelling at me because he was mad at me about something else. I don't remember what it was. I think I can't remember exactly what it was, but he was just like, this is what's ruining wrestling. And you got to understand, Congo's not a bad dude. He's a really nice guy.
Mhm.
Every time before this, I'd been around this guy, and I'd been around him at least a dozen times on shows, right?
Okay.
Congo's a very nice guy, but he's very old school.
Okay.
Like, he's very old school mentality. And he just didn't like the spot, and he was like, this is what's ruining wrestling, and he was really mad at me. And I felt really bad about it, and I was kind of mad. I was like, dude, we were just having a good time, but it is what it is. I even talked to him probably in 10 years, maybe, something like that.
Seems like a
'Cause
character.
He like I said, he's a really, really nice guy. Yes, he's a super nice guy. He's very old school, and when someone threatens that old school way, he gets kind of upset. I don't know if he's still like that or not. Like I said, it's been 10 years.
I can
But
appreciate
I
it.
like him. He's a good dude.
Right. I got you. Well, I can appreciate that. So you did your wrestling, did that thing, and then, like I say, I see that you've got your show on YouTube. Is that where yeah? Let's go ahead and get into that. What inspired you to come up with the show on YouTube, Disaster Piece Theater? You got Francois, the Possessed Pinata. I mean, how does this all come about?
Shut up, Francois. I'll answer the question. Anyway, so okay, I was in college. I was doing my master's. I was doing my master's in animation at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I did a master's in screenwriting also. And I was thinking to myself, and this is before the last drive-in like even came back or anything, because I've always been a big fan of Monster Vision.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've ever told you the story about. I might start with this story because it inspired me. But I was like 14 years old,
Okay.
and it was when I'm aging myself, but it was when the internet was new and
Right.
AOL was like the only internet,
I
and
understand if anybody does.
and Monster Vision was on, and I watched it every week. And then I saw that Joe Bob had his little caption contests,
Mm.
So they had his email and stuff. You could email it to him. So I did. I emailed him, and like I said, I was 14 years old, and I told him, and I told Joe Bob this story at the Jamboree too.
Mm.
I said, like I want to make movies one day. I want to be a filmmaker, like kids do, because
Right.
I want to make movies one day, and when I make a movie, I want you to be in my movie and all this and this and this and I sent the email, and it wasn't even 24 hours, and he sent an email back to me,
Wow.
and he said, "You name the place and time, and I will be there."
Holy shit.
And I told him at the Jamboree, I was like, "I don't hold you to that," but that meant a lot to me as a kid. Like I was like, "Holy crap," and it inspired me. And so moving on years upon years, I joined the military. I was in the military for a while,
Thank
and
you.
in school, makes it. and I finally got into college, and when I was getting ready to graduate with my first master's, I was like, okay, I want to horror host. I think this is like 2016. I'm like, I want to horror host. I miss that because I couldn't ever find, like there weren't, because where I'm from, we had Sammy Terry.
Yeah.
Sammy Terry was awesome, but
Yeah.
there was just no horror hosts really anymore. Sven Gulli, but so I decided, I was like, okay, well, I want to do this, and so I started buying up some of those public domain DVD sets that had 8 or 9 movies on them or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna go through these, and I did that, and it took me a little while, and then I started my second master's and stuff like that just to get, and then it finally just fell together. I sat down, and I'm like, okay, it's time to do this. I've been saying I'm wanting to do this for 3 years. It's time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I started developing the show for YouTube, and that first season was rough as fuck, bro. I was really trying to get I have a pretty good way of doing it now. It's really, I've kind of got a system now that works out.
Oh, for sure.
But there was no Francois.
Okay.
So it was just me talking to myself, just non-scripted, right? So I have little bullet points on a laptop that I'm looking at while I'm on camera, so you can always see me going like this and then looking back up. It was really, really terrible. And an actor I was not. And so I did that, and it was just I have no one to play off of. This kind of sucks. Yeah. And I did it. I did 9 episodes for my first season, which I pulled. They're not on YouTube anymore. I pulled them down for a narrative reason, which I'm going to do later, but which I'm not going to spoil just yet. But that happened. That idea happened before the trauma thing happened. But anyway, So I go through and I start my second season, and I'm just like, how can I do this to make this to where it's less me just sitting in a chair throwing out factoids and bitching about stuff, to where it actually is a narrative and there's comedy and there's back and forth, and it was really hard because this was right. I started this show. The first season of the show happened halfway into the show is when COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to have guests on. I'm not going to have people on. So the next season started, and it was still kind of an overlay of COVID. So I'm like, I need a co-host. And I go, Sven Gulli's got puppets,
right?
Every now and then. And Sammy Terry had a bat, that kind of flew around in the background. I'm like, I'm a luchador. I should have a piñata.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah,
Genius.
Shut up, Francois. He just keeps talking. He won't stop.
Why won't you talk about me? I can't do it. I tried.
Oh, yes. Look at me. I'm Francois.
There it is.
But yeah, so I had this piñata, and I was like, what if I make him a giant dick? Like, and how can I make him a giant dick? Oh, wait, I know. He's a demon.
There you go.
So it just kind of all like as soon as he fell into place in that first episode of season 2, with him like making his first appearance and starting to talk to me, where I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, what the hell is happening right now? You know, like it just started working, and it was just like, this is easy because it's a hell of a lot easier to write dialogue between two people arguing.
Exactly.
Like sitcoms are based on arguing. Like that's like the main ingredient for sitcoms is just like having. That's why they're called sitcoms, situation comedy. So there has to be a situation, and then I look back to All in the Family with Archie Bunker. Like who argued in the history of sitcoms more than Archie and Meathead, right?
Okay. Right.
No one. So I'm like, what if I have a pinata where I can be like the voice of reason, and my pinata is like Archie.
That's awesome.
So
yes.
that's where it kind of came from, and then it got people started watching it, and I started promoting a little bit for it too, which helped. And then I went to that first jamboree, and I was there in costume the whole time.
Okay.
And people were just like, like, who's this guy? Why is he wearing this luchador outfit in 95-degree heat?
Work the gimmick.
And I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm a luchador, dude. I can't exactly just go, hey guys, and then it just picked up from there. It started getting really big, really big, really big, and then after that second jamboree, dude, it went, and then I started working with Darcy because Darcy had come on my last year's Christmas special.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She had come on and she was the projector guy for that episode, and she and I kind of like talking, and we, pretty friendly, and we'd never met in person. Then I finally got to meet her, and I hosted cartoons with her at the Jamboree this last year. And then since then, everything's just been, I guess that's been huge before that because we got picked up by Troma.
Yeah.
Which was amazing because I'm, 17-year-old me is like doing backflips. I'm like, holy crap, I get to work with Lloyd Kaufman. That's amazing. You know?
39-year-old
so we did that,
was attempting backflips for you, man. Like, it blew my mind.
Yeah, 41-year-old me was groaning while I was trying to do backflips. It was like, I should have taken that last bump. Oh. But yeah, so that happened, I think back, it was early 2022, and I started working with Troma a little bit, and then they're like, we want you to do the show. You can use our library. I'm like, no shit. Well, that's awesome. I'm not going to have to host public domain crap anymore,
Yeah, get Troma crap, baby.
I get the Troma schlock. No. And Lloyd's been, oh my God, dude, Lloyd's been so freaking amazing. He's been so generous. He's a fan of the show.
Wow.
Which is really cool. I mean, that was like the biggest compliment for me ever was Lloyd's like, dude, he funny story. So this happened about 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're working out stuff for the second season right now because Troma's got us up for another season. So we got picked up for another season.
Hell yeah.
Which is awesome. Yeah, which is really cool because there was a lot of Troma movies I didn't get to do yet that I wanted to do. But anyway, like we're having a meeting and stuff, and then I get my phone rings, right? And I get a random phone call from a number in New York, and I'm like, well, I don't know who the hell this is, but I guess I'm going to answer. So I answer it, and it's Lloyd Kaufman calling me on my damn cell phone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what? Like Lloyd and I've talked before, and all that, but it was funny because he was just like, hey, how's it going? He's like, your show, like, I just wanted to let you know your show is just phenomenally funny, and we're really happy to have you doing this on Troma Now and things like that. So
wow,
that was super rad. That was a nice kick to my motivational ass right there. I was like, well, now I need to bump it up another notch. So
Lloyd Kaufman is a gift to film, and he will be appreciated years down the road. He has changed how film can be done. He's given so many people opportunities. Like, that's when it comes to film, that's my dude. He has changed the game, and people will appreciate him eventually. They do now. The smart ones, the people that know what he's done. And he doesn't even give himself enough credit. That dude changed the game. He let people make film how they wanted. You can do it how he. We could do a whole show talking about how great Lloyd Kaufman is. That dude is a blessing to cinema, to Earth. Him and his wife. And his wife has done great things. So God bless Lloyd Kaufman, man. Like, for real. We wouldn't have horror movies and B movies, half the stuff we do now, without him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Lloyd's a class act, and he doesn't get nearly enough credit for what he's done for film. And it's undoubtedly. And I've told him that too. I accidentally made him cry once.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm just telling you the truth. That you've done so much for all of us that didn't have voices.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a big supporter of the unheard voice, and he's like, and that's why he always says, make your own damn movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you don't, like, when you do stuff for Troma, you don't get. I mean, Troma they don't typically help out like with production costs and things like that. But if you have something that you've put your heart and soul into, that you've done, they will give you the outlet. And the cool thing is, Troma's very generous about, like, with my show. Like, my show is a little bit different because I'm using a lot of their stuff. But my portions of my show are still mine. Like, when I sign my contract with Troma, I'm still allowed to go do my show wherever I want to do it.
Hell yeah.
And on Troma, which is really cool.
Okay.
And all my stuff that I've done myself, like, it's mine. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So that was a big deal. And not a lot of companies are generous like that.
No, I mean, I'm not in the industry, obviously, but on the outside looking in, Troma is for the people like us, your everyday guy. Make a movie, Troma's going to support you 110%. I encourage everyone, even if you don't want to make a movie, read Lloyd Kaufman's books, and you'll see things differently. This guy's different. He was put on Earth. I don't know why he was put on Earth to change the game, basically, because I could go on all day. Troma, and I grew up on Troma movies. Once I saw Toxic Avenger, I was probably 10 years old. I got in trouble. I bought it, and I watched it at my aunt's house, and she made me take it back, and I was like, I'll find this movie when I was older. And I've got a Troma collection you wouldn't believe. VHS tapes, DVDs. Every weekend, I would go to Suncoast and buy another Troma movie. First with the in-house stuff, all the in-house stuff, and then everything else. And so when I saw that you were picked up by Troma, I was over the moon, because I'm a big fan of yours. Like I say, you're an inspiration. And watching Francois, you've made Francois such a character. I just believe that's a character that's living there behind you. So you've done some awesome work for him, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That makes me feel like I'm doing something right.
You are. And speaking of which, I wanted to mention this too. I saw on Twitter that Lloyd and Joe Bob was in my neck of the woods making a movie together. So that's going to be I got to see that. Lloyd and Joe Bob in some crazy West Virginia movie. You know anything on that?
I heard something about Lloyd doing something, but I didn't really know. I didn't ask. Yeah.
Talk about
cool.
being
really
generous.
Cool.
That dude pops up in every B horror movie that I watch. You got a Lloyd Kaufman cameo. I'd love to know how many cameos he's made at this point.
Dude, my director of photography from this season right now, he actually just did special effects for a movie that Lloyd made in Canada.
Okay.
It's a vampire. It's like a vampire zombies thing.
Oh, nice.
I think it's like vampire zombies from Mars or something. I think that's what it's called.
See,
but yeah, like, so Lloyd was in that. Like, they just got offset with him a couple months ago from him working on that movie.
And I'm telling you, that's my point. People would not have the balls to make vampire zombies from Mars if it wasn't for Lloyd Kaufman and his brand and what he's done. Because a lot of people followed suit. After Lloyd blew up, you had Street Trash and these other movies, and you could see the way. And here we are, man. Like, I love my B horror movies. It can be $0 budget, and I'm down. I'm on Tubi finding jewels all the time. Troma now has some jewels. What's your favorite Troma movie?
Like, Troma produced movie or Troma distributed movie?
Both.
Okay. Troma produced movie, I would have to say, you know what? It's really kind of funny because it honestly, I think Shakespeare hashtag Shakespeare shitstorm
Oh,
might be my favorite,
real!
and
I
that's
gotta
not just
see
because it's
it.
new, but I really like it.
Oh, I need it. They're not bringing
I
it to
don't know
Monongah,
when
West
they're going to put
Virginia,
it on Troma
unfortunately.
now. I kept trying to get ask Lloyd if like when they put it on Troma now if I can host it. I want to host it,
Oh wow.
but they don't know when they're going to do it. They're still doing like the theater circuit with it, so it just depends on whenever they're done with that.
Tell them to bring it to the
But
Monongah Car Wash, man. Let's do this. I need it.
um, yeah, I think Lloyd's like anytime that someone has a venue where they think they can get it played, like he wants to bring it.
Damn.
Um, so if you know of a venue around you that wants
Okay.
to bring that movie in, let him know.
Well, I'm starting to meet some people. Maybe we can get him in Morgantown, West Virginia. Definitely. I'm gonna work on that. That's another mission of mine now. So, favorite one is the newest one. By the way, and it's crazy you say that because mine was Toxic Avenger, Nukem High. I couldn't, and then the newest Nukem High, the part two to it. The part one was great, but part two was phenomenal. It was so good. How can Troma movies get any better? And they did it. Like the second part of Nukem High, first one not bad, but that second part, holy shit.
Oh yeah, it's I may or may not be hosting that this season.
Ooh,
The volume one this season, and I may or may not be hosting volume 2 next season.
that's gonna be fun.
So
Your shows are always so fun, man. Shoot, Lloyd Kaufman know this. I was a Troma Now subscriber. I watched all I could, and I quit paying. But when I knew that show was going to premiere, it was a month ahead of time. I went ahead and renewed my subscription, and it's been going ever since because of Disaster Piece Theater. Whenever it dropped, I was the first person to comment on it. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
you were. That's awesome, dude. I appreciate that. That makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a mark for you, buddy. You're doing good things. So you said your favorite Troma produced was Shakespeare Shitstorm. What about the stuff they just released?
Well, they have a lot of stuff. They acquired a while back. They acquired all the Glickenhaus movies, which was like, they have a lot of Hennen a lot of movies on there now, and they have a Bill Lustig movie and stuff like that. The reason why I went to Troma in the first place to try to get something going was because I wanted to host Surf Nazis Must Die.
Hell yeah, love it.
So that's one on my list. And as far as like stuff that other things, like I'd have to go with I don't know, maybe Maniac Cop.
Okay, that's a fun
And
one. All the
yeah,
movies are fun.
yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff on there.
The first
Um,
DVD I ever purchased was Cannibal the Musical. I saw it was Troma. I saw it was Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and that's one of my favorites of all time. I grew up. That was my teenage years. Every time I had a party at my house, I'll put it in. I introduced so many people to that movie. Still have that DVD. And between me and you and the audience, I've had my kids watch that movie. That is my shit. That God bless Lloyd Kaufman. Why didn't anybody else pick it up? They shopped it around, and thank God Lloyd got it.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
phenomenal one.
yep. And Lloyd, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that Trey and Matt, like one of their first places they went and had something done was Trauma.
Yup.
There's been a lot of really big people to come out of Trauma, and that's another thing Lloyd does. He likes to elevate people. He likes to get them started and then elevate them up to, because he wants. I mean, he told me that the more people that are good people in the industry, the better off everyone's going to be, and that's true. That's very true.
That's awesome. That's awesome. James Gunn, another one. I
Yep,
saw.
James Gunn and
It was fun to watch
John.
his come up. Who else? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, let's say John Brennan,
Yep.
the Trauma guy. I mean, he was one of the producers for Return to Nukem High Volume 2.
Okay.
He did a lot of stuff with them. Justin Martell, the producer, Matt Mangiaritas, producer for The Last Drive-In. They all came from Trauma. A lot of people from The Last Drive-In came from Trauma. A
Hell
bunch
yeah.
of the people, yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
there's been so many that I keep trying to twist Lloyd's arm. I'm like, hey, you need to talk to James and see if James will come on the show, and then I'll host Romeo and Juliet.
Oh shit! Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great? We was talking about Class of Newcomb High, the newer ones. When it came out, for whatever reason, I saw it at Walmart and picked it up. Now the day I saw it at Walmart was actually my wedding day. Me and my wife didn't have a big wedding or anything. It was a little thing with just the family and a really cool preacher that smoked a joint with us. That was cool. But I was like, damn. I was so excited that it was at Walmart and it was a new Troma movie. And I had to watch it. Even though it was my wedding night, I had to see this. And it kind of ruined my wedding night. My wife wasn't too pleased. I still hear about it, so that's my. But I was so excited. I mean, yeah, I got married, and yeah, we did the marriage deal and everything. But I had to see that movie. My wife is not a big fan of B movies. We kind of watch separate things, like your wife in wrestling. So, yeah, that movie got me in a lot of trouble on my wedding night. You got lesbians kissing and the whole deal, and yeah, my wife was not a fan. I loved it. I loved it. Second one's even better. I'm so happy you're working with them. Where do we go from here, Gringo?
Like after Trauma?
I hope you stay with Troma. What's the plan? What would you like to accomplish in life?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I'd like to get. Like, I'm happy where I am with Trauma. I have no. I'm not going to leave anytime soon. As long as they want me to keep doing them for them, I'm going to do them. As long as I get the budget, which I'm going to plug that real quick. Next season, I have to crowdfund my budget because of the guests that I have coming on my show.
Okay.
It's such a big deal. Like, I have my guests. You guys aren't going to believe, and I'm not going to spoil it, but you're not going to believe who my guest list is for next season. It's nuts.
Hell yeah.
It's nuts. Like, and I'm a little, like, I don't get starstruck, dude, but I'm even a little nervy about it. I can announce one of my guests that are coming on next season because I have them solidified, and they're friends of mine, so I know they're not going to get mad if I say anything. I have the Adamses coming on, Hellbender.
Okay.
They're pretty good friends of mine, and they're gonna come out and come on the show physically in person.
Nice.
And so I'm really excited about that. And I talk to Toby probably every day.
Hell yeah.
Text back and forth with Toby every day. She's a wonderfully, wonderfully amazing lady. I really enjoy talking to her.
An awesome film. Awesome. Oh yeah. That's hell yeah, man. I appreciate the announcement. And you were mentioning that you need to fund this. So plug away, tell folks how they can help out.
Okay, well we're not going to do it until after the holidays because we don't want anyone to have to be like, oh, we want to do this, but we got to pay for Christmas,
Look at you.
So we're gonna wait until after, probably February-ish. We're gonna start a big crowdfunding campaign to help because this season of Troma was all self-financed. I paid for that all by myself.
God bless you.
Which was my wife's still rolling her eyes at me like, come on, bro. I'm like, you're an executive producer. Shut up. If she heard me say that, she would come in here and hit me with something. But probably a kendo stick. I feel like I'm a magnet for those. But yeah, so we're trying to, our budget's significantly higher. We do have some sponsors this time too, which is really cool. But we're going to launch a big crowdfunding campaign, and we're talking about doing, do you remember those old Jerry Lewis telethons?
For sure.
Yeah, I think we're going to do one of those.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think we're going to do a live Twitch. The plan is to do a live 12 to 24 hour marathon that's a constant different things going on.
Hell
for
yeah.
the show. So
I'm
going to have to call in some favors from some of my celebrity friends to help me out with that.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. So, okay. So you got some big plans in store. That's awesome. And while we're talking about the show, I watched the first episode. I watched the end credits. And holy shit, for whatever reason, there's my name in the credits. Thank you. My name is in the credits of a Troma fucking show.
Dude, you've been amazing, amazing supporter of the show. You've been really awesome, and that was the least I could do was give you some props for being such a cool dude, That was the least I could do.
Mind blown. Mind blown. I can't thank you enough. I appreciate the hell out of you. I do have a confession to make for you. I was thinking about this, and I do have a confession because you're a good dude, and I have to tell you something. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do the episode, the Valentine's Day episode, and I write a letter in. I'm going to put footage of that up, and we'll take a look at that. And whoever you read the letter for gets this dope-ass limited edition Valentine's Day t-shirt. And it's dope. I wear it all the time.
Awesome.
For whatever reason, probably about a year ago, maybe 6 months. Yeah, probably about 6 months ago. My oldest daughter is cooking something, and it happens to be in the laundry in the kitchen. And there's some fire. Of all the things, she used that shirt to put out the fire, bro. Oh my goodness, she felt so bad. And I didn't want to go off too bad. I didn't. And it's still wearable. It's still wearable. It's just got a little burn at the bottom and everything.
I can send you another one, bro.
Bro, no, I can still wear it. I appreciate it because I told her, I said, it's a limited edition Gringo Fantastico shirt, man. It's still good. It's got just a couple burns at the bottom. I still rock it. People love it. People's like, what is that? And I'm like, let me tell you. So that's my confession to you.
Well, I'll send you one of the Troma season shirts that I'm working on.
I'm not going to say no, but
yeah, it's no problem, bro. I can do that. My shirt stop a fire. I'm good with that. Like,
of all shirts, that laundry pile wasn't small. There was towels in there and stuff, but that was the shirt I wore that day. My fat ass, when it's summertime, I take the shirt off when I get home. Shit, if I'm home, I don't wear a shirt. I don't care. So yeah, that's my confession to you. What can you do? It's still, like I say, still in good shape. I still rock it. But yeah, that's my story.
Hey, that's cool, dude. Like I said, I'm getting ready to make some new shirts. That shirt was actually designed. The St. Slashentine's Day shirt was designed by my tattoo artist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Who did all my stuff on my arm and all that.
Let's see it. Hell yeah.
So I've got Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. I've got Vegeta in a Dragon Ball, and I've got the
Here it comes. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Get the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. And that goes all the way back to my shoulder.
How are you so cool? How are you so cool?
I'm not that cool. It was the reason why I have that is because the tattoo artist is also my niece.
Okay.
And I get free tattoos.
Well, hell yeah. You're blessed, man.
When she was still learning, I was her guinea pig. So, and I was like, fine, whatever. If you screw it up, fix it later when you get better. But she did it really good. So she did that. But she designed that shirt for me. So I'm trying to get her to design a new one for me as well.
Hell yeah. You got, like I say, you got a good group around you, a good support group, man. You're in good shape. You're doing the Twitter spaces after AEW. Like I say, it's always a fun time. So let's get into that. Obviously, you're watching AEW every week. What do you think about going in the Full Gear? You hyped up?
Yeah, I mean, I'll make a confession as well. Like, I'm a bigger WWE fan than I am an AEW fan.
They're rocking it.
But that's not because AEW is bad. That's just because I grew up with WWE.
I feel it.
So it's really hard to be like, But I like all wrestling. I'm like you, dude. I like if it's wrestling and it's good, I like it.
Yep. If it's wrestling and it's bad, I like it. Should it?
But so like with Full Gear, I'm like, AEW. I think AEW is getting a lot better. When it first started, I wasn't a big fan.
Really?
I've always been a Jericho fan. But so that was always cool, and I didn't really know much about a lot of the other guys in there, like Orange Cassidy and stuff like that. But it started to grow on me. Like I started watching it a little bit here and there, and now I watch it every week because I want to do the show. And as I've been doing the show, like I've really started to like find a lot of really cool things about it that I enjoy. So,
right.
But yeah, going into Full Gear, I'm excited about it. I'm not as excited as I am about War Games, but
Okay.
but I'm still pretty excited about the Full Gear because I know the AEW is going to put on a good show, And even though I have to pay the $50 or whatever dollars is for those pay-per-views, I feel like when I do, I get my money's worth. So as long as I feel like I'm getting my money's worth, it's worth it to me to watch it.
I'm their number one supporter from day one when they announced it. I was down. I bought a T-shirt as soon as it was released. But $50 is too much for a pay-per-view. I bootleg every one, so if you need a link, I got you. I'll say it. Yeah, I bootleg every. And so, dude, $50, man. Start an AEW network. Come on now.
Yeah, it's well, they got Jeff Jarrett, so now they can start that whole. He owns a lot of footage too. They could start like some kind of thing.
Well, something.
For a while they were talking about putting it on HBO Max.
Yeah. And they got the Ring of Honor library now. I mean, it's time, Tony. It's time. I'm bootlegging your shows. I'm sorry, but I'm watching, and I'm putting it over on Twitter, so, is MJF going to get the belt? I'm hoping he does.
I think he will. As far as narrative, I think it's time. And I think he's going to get the better of Moxley, and I think it's going to be a really physical match, and but also, and then coming from an outside from breaking kayfabe a little bit, is Moxley wanted to take that break anyway. He wanted to take some time off,
right?
And then the whole media scrum thing happened, and then he had to stay because there was no one else that could do it,
right?
So I think it's time.
Yeah.
Like MJF can he's more than capable of having that title and being able to push the brand out. So I think that Moxley, and if he doesn't, I'm going to be really shocked. If Moxley ends up keeping it, I'll be shocked.
And I'm a huge fan of Moxley. What a workhorse, what a company guy. He took time off to get himself better, to rehab and everything. So happy for that dude. Has a beautiful wife. Now she's on the show, and he works his ass off. He carries that company on his shoulders, along with Jericho and the rest of the crew. But Moxley, he's another one that, we're appreciating him, but years from now, we'll look back and say that dude was a workhorse. He gave it all to the business. He loved it. I could go on all day about Jon Moxley, but MJF, I watched his come up. I was fortunate enough to be watching Indies, see what he was doing on the Indies, MLW with the Dynasty and Hammerstone. Definitely check those out sometime. Oh my goodness, so good. And then boom, he's AEW, and couldn't be happier for that dude, man. What a talented. He's another gift to wrestling for sure.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that WWE should have held on to when they had a chance to get him.
Yep. Well,
but they wouldn't have let him. They wouldn't have let him develop like he has, though. That's the only problem.
It's hard to tell what they would have done with him, man. I'm so glad they didn't get him.
And that's yeah.
It's hard to tell how many guys they scooped up that could have been superstars that they put a funny mask on or whatever the hell they were doing for a while. Thank God Triple H is in charge.
Cross.
Oh man, that dude! I was so excited when he got the WWE. That was another one I followed on the Indies from SFW in Vegas. Watched him do his thing. Do you remember when Impact wouldn't let him out of his contract?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I was a big supporter of him. Tried to leave Impact, they wouldn't let him out, and he'll do big things too.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before they're. I honestly think he should be the guy that takes the title from Roman Reigns. I think that would be good. But I think it's going to be. I think Sami Zayn's going to take it.
Sammy blew up, and good for him.
Mm-hmm. That's a guy who I've been following forever.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yeah, very similar.
El Generico,
Yeah.
I always loved El Generico. I liked a lot of the guys from Ring of Honor, so I was very happy to see that they're doing a lot of those guys are doing really well now.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, they could do more with Jay Lethal. I'm glad he's getting some sort of spotlight. Yeah, he's doing all right, but big Jay Lethal fan. And the stuff with Flair over the summer, that was fun. That whole series, that was great.
Yeah. Dude, Jay Lethal, that guy, he's amazing. In any promotion he's ever been in,
yep,
he should be at the top of the card in every single promotion.
Yep.
Like hands down. He's a good and not to mention I don't know why he's not working. I don't know if he's injured or can't anymore, but I always liked Sanjay Dutt. I always thought he was great.
Yeah.
I wish they would let him work if he can. I think that would be a lot of fun to watch him again.
Yeah, he could kill it.
Yeah.
His X
But
Division stuff.
I've told you this before, I'm still waiting on the return of Necro Butcher.
Necro Butcher. Listen,
I love Necro Butcher.
poor
He's
old
so
Necro
awesome.
Butcher. XPW's back. Rob Black. At first I was like, cool, this will be the edgy product, and they are the edgy product, but there's something, man. Masada cut a promo on Mittens at the last pay-per-view. Dude's a promoter's son, and saying he's going to kick this promoter's son ass. He's just a dude in the crowd that said something on Twitter, and Masada's going to kick his ass. Necro Butcher's in the mix, like, what's his face from WWE, the referee. He's wrestling for him now. I forget his name. He always wrestled Mox.
Oh.
Draven, not Draven. Shit.
Drake Younger.
Drake Younger. Yeah, they got all the misfits in XPW, and I was all about it at first. I watched the first few pay-per-views, but they're just trying to be edgy and trying to piss people off, so it's not going to last. And same with NWA. I'm done with NWA. Fuck NWA. Nick Aldis is another gift, and they fucked up. They fucked up big time.
Where do you think he's going to go?
Wherever he goes, I hope he gets to shine. I'd like to see him in AEW.
I think he's going to go WWE. I think he's going to go WWE.
And that would be great, too. That would be a definite change of pace because he's always worked that indie style. And he's more of an old school guy. And he's popped up in AEW before and Ring of Honor and stuff. So that would be cool to see him in WWE on a big stage.
Yeah, but the stories that have been coming out about NWA and like that's another guy. Like Trevor Murdoch, dude. I always enjoyed watching him. Is he still going by Trevor Murdoch now, or is he going by something else? I can't remember.
You know what? We'll say it's Trevor Murdoch. It might be something different, but I think it's still Trevor Murdoch. I
always liked that name because he's reminded me so much of Dick Murdoch.
Yep.
It was perfect, and I'd love to see him go somewhere else. I don't know, like Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
The NWA at first, when they first started doing it, was pretty cool to watch. Those guys, and it's not the talent's fault. That guy just, I don't know, like, and I used to love the Smashing Pumpkins, but now I have a hard time even liking to listen to them because of all that.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I remember, I think it was Hard Times back in 2019 when Ricky Starks won the TV title tournament. That was such a good show, and I'll give it to him there. In my opinion, NWA gave Ricky Starks the platform. They made him a star, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely, undoubtedly.
Stroke Daddy.
And I'm still a little upset. Like, okay, so here's the thing, and a lot of people, especially AEW fans, are gonna be like, "Oh, fuck you, Gringo."
Okay.
I'm a Jim Cornette guy. I like Jim Cornette. I don't think some of the things he says is very nice, and I don't agree with them. But I do listen to Jim Cornette's show, and I think that whole thing when they dropped him because of that one thing he said
wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't. Well, that's the thing. They took it the wrong way. It wasn't a good joke to begin with,
right?
But like people just took it the wrong way because what he was saying wasn't what they were saying it. He said it. Like they were like, "Oh, he's being racist." It's like he wasn't making fun of race. He was making fun of poor people. Like because that's what's going on. Like I picked up on that right off the bat, and then someone said race, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh, I see where you got that, but that's not what he was talking about." Cornette's not that stupid to make a comment like that. You know what I mean?
And what that was a controversy for a minute. They didn't even release the next few episodes. You had to wait on the episodes so they could edit him out and stuff. I was like, hey, you new generation, chill. Just be happy. Just chill. Yeah. Just chill, snowflakes. I'm saying it. You're chill.
I gotta tell you, dude, and you'll get there pretty soon. When we do what we do in the entertainment industry, like we have to be very careful. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
There's a lot of the time I'll see people posting stuff on social media, and I want to say something, and then I have to like stop I'm like, oh, I don't want to say that because it might get taken the wrong way and stuff like that. So I've been really careful. I don't know after I say that, I'm a Cornette guy, I may change, but
No,
let's put it this way. Like, I don't agree with everything Jim says. I don't like when he's like getting all like down on AEW for stuff that's really not anything that he should be hating on. You know what I mean?
right on.
But I like to listen to him talk about like his stuff, like when he was in the industry and the stories on the road and things like that. That's why I like listening to that show.
Yeah. Oh, nobody knows wrestling better than Jim Cornette.
Oh yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that Jim, like, he's the one who initially, like, Tony Khan went to when he started to do AEW. He went to Jim Cornette to ask for advice and things like that.
Okay.
So, and Jim's been a big fan. I mean, he's a big FTR supporter, which
Right.
you shouldn't be, because FTR is like probably one of the best tag teams I've seen in 15 years.
Definitely. Them and Saturday Night Special. Best tag teams out there.
Yeah.
Got to plug my boys. Coming
Yeah,
up
that's
soon.
fair.
And back to what you're saying about watching what you're saying, I agree. When I started the podcast, it started doing all right, and my wife said, "Well, you're kind of getting buddy with RSW. Why don't you be their social media guy?" And I said, I want to have my own show so I can say what I want to say. So I want to be a fan and talk like a fan. And now I'm part of that. I do have to watch what I say. I'm around a bunch of guys that love the business, and I'm brand new. So I get it. I love the business too. I love it. I love it. I love pro wrestling. I was put on this earth for something with pro wrestling. I don't know what it is. We'll hop around and see. But I was put here. I was programmed for pro wrestling. You can ask anybody that knows me, or halfway knows me. I'm the wrestling guy. So I get what you're saying. Now that I'm backstage talking to the guys and with the show and everything, believe me, I've got a few zingers thrown at me already. I've been told by a wrestler over the weekend, don't ruin the business. I don't think I have that power, but and I do take it very seriously. I do respect the business. I respect the hell out of you, any guy that gets in that ring and does what they do. It's not easy. So, yeah, I get what you're saying about watch what you're saying, because I'm living that life myself.
It's so stressful. Like, and it's not even just like people that are going to take something the wrong way. Like, there's people that, like, it's not even like from something that doesn't, you didn't say it or didn't mean it that way. Some people just get mad at you for no reason. Like, I've had a couple of incidents, and I'm not really going to point out, but where people have just like taken what I've said completely the wrong way, not in like a Jim Cornette situation, but but just in general. Like, I'll say something and they'll be like, what are you talking about, bro? I thought we were friends. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I didn't, I'm like, that's the thing about me, dude. Like, I'm the last person in the world they need to worry about.
Right.
Like, I'm super chill and I'm nice to everybody I meet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only a dick if someone's a dick to me first. I can be a royal ass. I'm fucking ex-military, dude. I can bring that shit to the table. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel it.
Like I fought in freaking wars, dude. It's not a big deal for me to go drill sergeant. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But I don't like to. So I'm always generally very respectful and nice to everyone I ever talk to or meet or whatever. I think I yelled at one guy on Twitter once. But I didn't yell at him. Francois yelled at him.
Oh, okay. You have that advantage.
I do. I'm trying to remember what it was. Like, someone was saying something about. Oh, it was that thing where everyone was getting mad. I don't know if you saw that. Like, this guy was doing this award show.
Okay.
And then he posted a picture up of Jada Pinkett in an outfit, and she looked like a like a Cenobite, and everyone got mad at this guy for it.
I remember that.
And I was nominated for one of his awards, and I was like, I'm stepping back from this. I'm not touching any of this with a 30-foot pole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any part. It's like, it's not that I'm mad at you or mad at. And I was like, but it sucks that you can't just come out and have an opinion about something else. People jumping and attacking you.
Yeah.
And this guy replied to my post. Guy didn't even know, didn't follow me, just saw it. he's like, oh, well, it's like you need to blah blah blah. It sounds like you need to grow a pair or something like that, and or he's like, you need to find your balls, and so Francois pops online and is like, well, he can't find his balls because they're too busy in your girlfriend's mouth. And then the guy was like, what? That was very nice. And then Francois replied again. He's like, I'm very sorry. I meant it also could be your boyfriend's mouth. We don't judge.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Francois does have their own Twitter account. Is
Yep.
Francois male or female, or are we doing they them? What's going on? You don't know
I don't
either.
know.
That's a
I think
demon.
I think he's a dude.
I've always wondered.
No woman is that shitty. It's got to be a dude.
Okay, I got you. Well, hey, I got the answer. By God, that's the peak of the podcast right there. I found out. But back to what you were saying. I'm really blessed. You're around some big shots, and I figure big shots can be assholes. But as far as the group that I just become a part in, wow, they're a family. When they see me, they hug me. Well, you're part of the family now. Best group of dudes ever. I've been super blessed. Whenever I go to other shows with other wrestlers, they've been cool. So far, so good. Whenever shit happens, I'll talk about it on the show. I sure will.
That's good, and that's a lot. Most of the time, that was the dynamic I saw too in the locker room. Was that everyone was like a big close knit family, and everyone was there to have a good time and work together and make the show as successful as possible.
Uh-huh.
So, and they were all like, everyone shook hands and were friendly. They weren't very friendly with me at first when I came in there because they didn't know who the hell I was. I went around and I introduced myself, just like the Undertaker said to.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
but people were like, "Who's this guy?"
Mm-hmm.
And then I started taking some of those big bumps and getting hit with shit. And then after I started doing that, and then I would thank them for it. And then everyone was started to get pretty cool with me.
I
They're
got
like,
you.
"Wow, we just beat the shit out of this guy with the ring bell, and he thanked us for it. He's all right."
And for folks that don't know, you was in the Indiana scene, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
Like
good.
not a big chunk of Indiana, just a small chunk, but yeah.
Well, yeah, Indiana's rocking right now in indie wrestling. Everything's rocking. Everything's firing on all cylinders. I couldn't be happier as a wrestling fan. There's access to everything. You can watch it on YouTube, IWTV, Fight TV. Yeah. If you're an indie promoter and you're not streaming, which RSW, we're working on some things, believe me. So, yeah, it's accessible. You can watch. If it's in your area, get your ass to a show. But if you can't make it, watch it on a stream because indie wrestling's on fire right now. A lot of talented dudes out there.
Yep. There's a promoter that keeps twisting my arm.
Oh, yeah?
Out here. He's trying to get me to come. He's trying to get me to come back to the ring.
Well,
And he's twisting my arm, dude. And I'm like, I'm getting that itch. I'm like, oh, I can't do a lot, man. I'm so damn injured, and like I've got a lot of military injuries and and stuff like that. And but man, and plus I know my wife would be super pissed if I took any big bumps.
right.
But man, it's real tempting.
Hey, man, you're a big shot now. You just tell the guy, you say, hey, what? I'm not bumping what you shine, Get it
Well,
done.
I told him, I go, I'll bump someone else if you
Yeah.
want me to. Like, I'll do that, but I go, and I'll take a small bump, like, on the mat or something, or over the ropes or whatever you want me to do. But like, I'm not gonna go through like any flaming tables, and I'm not gonna. The last time I was on an indie show, we lit this dude's arm on fire and had him and clothesline somebody.
Oh, shit. I love indie wrestling, baby.
Yeah. And it was like 20. There was like 20,000 freaking fluorescent light bulbs in this ring.
Uh-huh.
Like, it looked like a backyard show, but it was in an arena with an actual ring.
I've been to those. I've seen. Yep. Believe
It
me.
was like a freaking CZW show or something. But yeah, I'm not gonna take any big bumps like that. But if he wants me to bump somebody, or he wants me to like referee a match, or if he wants me, and I promise I won't fast count this time. And if he wants me to, come out and manage somebody or whatever. Even just make I can do all that. That's not a big deal. But
I hope it
it's
happens.
just it's got to be the right time and place and the right dynamic. And right now it's just hard to do because I'm so damn busy.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You're a busy dude right now. A busy dude. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you taking time out for the show. Damn, when I announced it on Twitter, my Twitter blew up. I said, "Hey, yep, got that
That's awesome.
dude." Yeah, man. Yeah, it is awesome. And
That makes me feel good. Makes me feel like, yeah, again, like I'm doing something right.
you are, man. You are. Your show's so damn entertaining. I encourage everybody to watch it. You've got him arguing with Possessed Pinata, random animations, the swear jar, been around forever. Guests, the interviews are great. Of course, the movies are great. You got Troma movies. And if okay, let's do this. You got your free trial. You got that option, but you don't want to whip out your debit card. Okay. Go over to the YouTube, and there's still some shows on your YouTube, right?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. I've got, I think my Black Friday special from last year still up, which is really cool because I got away with hosting the movie that was filmed near my hometown called Terror Squad.
Okay.
And I hosted that in a double feature and got away with hosting The Burning also.
Sweet.
I don't know how I got away with it, but I got away with it.
You got away with Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead too.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. Like YouTube's weird about stuff, but then I hosted the Hindi for my last year's season finale. I hosted the Indie Child's Play, the Hindi one, like the Indian one, Bollywood.
Okay.
And they would let me, and it was all in my own subtitles. So I added my own subtitles to this as to what I thought they were saying. Because I clearly do not speak Hindi. So it's just the most bonkers ass bizarre shit that you will ever see. I think one person on Twitter called me a mad scientist when they were watching it.
Oh man!
And I even changed out the Bollywood music and put in like just random stuff like the Cramps.
Oh shit! I love it.
Like I think like UB40, like that Rats in Me Kitchen song, like.
So you put all this work
and made it sync up to like the little dance numbers. And then I have a song and dance meter too. It was like a little maple leaf. So every time there's a song or dance, the counter goes up on the maple leaf. It was such a good episode. And then YouTube wouldn't, the company that owned it were like, no one's gonna watch that. I'm like, I'll figure this out.
You put all that work into it and they don't let you do it, man. Well, do you still have it around on a hard drive or anything?
Oh yeah. Ooh. It's still up on the YouTube. It just won't play.
I got you.
So I'm gonna try to figure something out so everybody can watch it because it is one of my favorite episodes I think I've ever done.
Do you have room on your Google Drive? Put it on there and shoot people a link.
That's true. I probably do because it's not a very big file.
That's what I do whenever they block my stuff. I just put out a video saying, hey, yo, here's the link. So, I want to see it. I'd watch it tonight. So I'd love for you to put that on Google Drive and shoot out a link.
Well, DM me or email and I'll send it. I'll put it up and I'll send it to you.
Hell yeah. Accept my friend request on Facebook and we can just, do it up.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't looked at Facebook yet. So
I just hit Facebook yesterday. So, I'll break kayfabe. Look up Derek Davis. The boys were like, "You got this cool name, Spooky Lou, and your real name's Derek."
That's awesome.
So there's my big reveal for the show. Yes, Derek Davis on Facebook. Shoot me a friend request, and we'll chat it up. And if you're nice enough, maybe I'll shoot you the link to the show he's talking about. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Hell yeah!
So it's a fun show. I mean, like I said, it's child's play, but it's in Hindi, and it's like they've redone it, and it's very, very ridiculous.
I can't wait. I'll be watching that as soon as I have access to it for sure, man. And you mentioned
Awesome.
the maple leaf, and that brought something up to me. Where does the Canada? Because dude, forever I thought you lived in Canada. And you was like, no, man, I'm in Indiana. So where's this Canada mess come from?
Well, there are two members of my crew are Canadian.
Okay.
but the character, I mean, it goes back to El Generico.
Oh, okay.
Because Generico, he's from French Canada, you know, like,
Uh-huh.
and obviously I'm not like clearly Hispanic. I'm white as a sheet. So I mean, I had to explain that somehow.
I love it. I love it. You've got a mind. You got a mind all your own, man. And like I
We
say, I
like to
see
call it we like to call it chemically imbalanced. That's
it's working for you though. So you know.
so says my shrink too.
Oh man, you're a blast. I've kept you for an hour. Oh, an hour 14. Damn, you're the man. Before I let you go, because this has been a blast. What? Tell the folks, plug everything you got to plug. Make your money. Get your views. Whatever. The platform's all yours. Tell folks how they can support, watch, whatever with Gringo Fantastico Disaster Piece Theater.
Ruby. Well, like you said earlier, you can catch Fantastico Disaster Piece Theater. Some of last season, the stuff that YouTube kept, you can catch that on YouTube on the Better Than Nothing. I think it's just Better Than Nothing Network. YouTube.com/Better Than Nothing Network or Better Than Nothing Films. I can't remember which.
I'll put a link.
You can get Troma Now. That's where all the really good, like high quality 4K, like professional production of an actual group of filmmakers from like international all got together and we did this whole show.
Hell yeah. Free trial.
Yeah, free trial. It's $5 a month. It's not even that bad.
Yep.
Hell, you spend that on more than that on like soda and bottled water.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the season's pretty good. We're only about halfway through. Episode 5 is going to air on, like, episodes 1 through 4 are on Troma Now right now, and then episode 5 will start on December 1st, and then until they're done. And there is, let's see, we've got episode 5, 6, 7, and then 8 and 9 are like 2 separate episodes, but they're like a double feature.
Okay.
So you'll get a double feature for the last episode. And then next fall will be the whole new season because we're going to start shooting in May. And then you can also, I've got like merch and stuff. You can go on the Better Than Nothing Network Etsy store. There's some t-shirts and stuff on there. There'll be more coming. There's a lot of merchandise in the works right now to throw up on there because people keep asking me for it. And you can hear me AEW talking AEW after Dynamite every Wednesday on Twitter. Just you can go to my Gringo Fantastico or Real Fantastico, pop that up, and there'll be a link there after AEW Dynamite's over on Wednesdays or on Tuesdays or whenever. Or if there's a pay-per-view like this Saturday,
Hell yeah.
you can go on there and do the Twitter Spaces thing, and you can join me. I usually let people pop in there and talk and chat and stuff like that and kind of get their opinions out. And then I kind of fire back with my own opinions. And it's a really good time. There's no toxicity at all, which is really awesome. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, I mean, just there's a lot. Oh, I didn't tell you there. So after we get this new season dealt with, we're going to be starting to work on a Fantastico movie.
No shit.
Yeah, right now the working title for it is Gringo Fantastico versus the Vampire Cartel from Hell.
Oh my goodness!
And it's like the old El Santo movies.
Yeah.
But more like slapstick El Santo. That's kind of what we're doing. So
of course it is. From Troma, of course.
Well, I don't know if it's going to go to Troma. Like
Okay.
it's an independent production, so I'm sure it'll go on Troma.
You're right.
Eventually. But like we're still in like early stages on that, so that's because I've got to write the whole damn thing still. I'm working on it, but I'm still not finished writing the script. So,
Wow.
But it's going to be a feature length movie, and because I did a short one once called. I wrote a short one once called Gringo Fantastico and the Mystery of the Masked Strangler.
Oh, hell yeah.
Way back in the day. But yeah, this new one's going to be really fun. It's going to be really there's gonna be a lot of gore and squibs and
No shit.
everywhere. So it should be a lot of fun.
Wow. I'm excited for it, man. You're the man. Like I say, you're doing great things. It's been awesome watching your come up. Again, I know you don't like to hear it, but you've been an inspiration to me. I can tell listening to your Twitter spaces, the folks you talk to there, you're an inspiration to them. You're a blessing, man. You are. You're a good dude. You are working your ass off for sure, and the product couldn't be better. So
I appreciate that, dude. I really do. And you're not, like I said, you're not doing so bad yourself, man. You're doing really good things yourself. And I told you this before. I'm really, really proud of you. And I'm not just kissing your ass. I am honestly proud of you. So
thank you. It means a lot coming from you. It really does. And it's good to see good people succeed. And I'm happy to see what you're doing. It seems like you're surrounded by good people. So me and you, we'll leave our little mark here and there. And when all's said and done, people will know Gringo Fantastico and Spooky Lou. And you heard it here first. I guarantee it. All right, man. It's been a blast. I couldn't thank you enough for your time. You've plugged your things. Any last word for the audience? Any motivation? Anything? Just let them know what's on your mind.
first and foremost, I want to say thank you for having me on here. I'm it's a privilege for me to be here. It's my honor to be here. For anyone out there that wants to do stuff and like you have ideas and you want to do things, take it from me, man. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do, and I just did it. I was just like, you know what, it's time, and I just did something, and it really worked out. So, and I tried different things throughout my life, different kinds of things, and they didn't work out. So if you fail at something, you know, just try again, and you're eventually gonna get something that picks up. I truly believe that, and I didn't believe it before, but I believe it now.
For sure.
So I mean, that's my TED talk.
Hey, I'm right there with you. Right there with you. Just put a little effort into something. If something you love, if you have a dream, just give it a try. I'm not saying give it 110%. Give it a try. See what happens. I did. Holy shit. He did. Holy shit. You got two people here living their dream. So you can do it too. So please do. I want you all to live your dreams. I want you to be kind to each other. And tune into the next episode. We got Marcus Twist. It's not going to be fun like this one. It's going to be very sad and very somber. And he's gone from RSW, so tune into that. It's not going to be a fun one like this. And we're going to get some information. Gringo, thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for what you're going to continue to do. Just keep doing it. You're doing it well, my man.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you. I do. It was really nice talking to you and being on here.
Hell yeah. It's been a blast. I thank y'all. Like I say, be kind to each other. Just live your dreams. I'm Spooky Lou, Gringo Fantastico. You've listened to WrestleRoni. You've actually watched it this time. That's crazy. We're moving up. I love y'all. Be kind. Rewind.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to read two of them, and whichever two I read on the air are going to get the special St. Slashentine's Day Especial shirts that are being designed by my tattoo artist.
You're taking the fun out of this for me.
Whatever. Additionally, these St. Slashentine's Day Massacre shirts serve a larger purpose. They'll be on the Better Than Nothing Network's Etsy site, right? And I'll put the link up on the description of the video, but and all the profits from the shirts, from these special shirts, are going to go to fund Joe Manco and Catalina Carita's movie The Torture, the one I showed on the Indie Showcase. They're almost to where they need to go to get it to be 100% done, and we're going to be the ones to help them do it.
I love The Torture. I'll support this.
I didn't need your damn approval, but good for you, all right? Anywho, let's dig through our entries and read the 2 letters that are going to be on the air. Let me be completely transparent here. I didn't pick which ones are going on, okay? My assistant did and threw them up on the teleprompter. And so much to my dismay, let's just go ahead and get into it and do this. This one's for you. Mr. Francois, how long will you toy with Fantastico before you put him out of his misery? I got $5 if you break him this season. Alan Buckman, Flagstaff, Arizona. Yeah, well, Alan, how about you go get Yeah? How you like that?
Oh, Alan, I'm not quite sure. He's a lot stronger-willed than one would believe. I'll tell you what, I'll take you up on your offer. $5, and you better pay up.
Alan, all right, you're a bit of a dick, okay? But congrats, you won a free t-shirt. Just DM me where you want it sent, and I'll get it right out to you. All right, that's 1 down and 1 to go. So, next. Hey, this one's from Spooky Lou Carpenbarker from Twitter. Hey, nice. I've talked to Spooky Lou lots of times before, so let's see what he has to say. Dear Gringo, I wanted to wish you and the always delightful Francois a very happy Valentine's Day. I really enjoy the show, and Francois does such a great job carrying you through every episode. What the f***, bro? Such quick wit, one smart haunted pinata. Francois, such a gift. You probably wouldn't have a show without him. I also want to share with you my love of horror host themed t-shirts. I like them a lot. Anyway, you guys keep up the great work. Fan for life, Spooky Lou Carpenbarker.
Oh, Spooky Lou sounds like a smart gentleman.
You know what? This is a bunch of bullshit. These are love letters to you. These people are your Valentines.
Oh, you're just upset because both of the contest letters were to me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Spooky Lou, right? I got a few choice phrases for you. No more Mr. Nice Canadian, alright? This is what happens when you piss off a guy from Vancouver.
Oh, here we go.
So anyway, Francois carries me through every episode. My ass, right? And guess what, Dick Shine? If you're hearing Francois, then you're just as bonkers as me. So why don't you just take your letter and shove it up your mother you stick? I hope that you get your writing hand jammed up a horse's you fucking smart ass mother. Go yourself, and I hope you get your stuck in a blender. Enjoy your t-shirt, mother.
Wow, that hardly seems warranted. Some of the letter was complimentary, told you.
Yeah, sorry, Lou. This goddamn pinata is making me crazy. I didn't mean to lash out on you. Sorry.
Hey, Alan from Flagstaff. You can wire me my money now. You better follow through.
You too, Alan. See, sorry, Lou, right? I'm just at the end of my freaking tolerance capabilities. You know, I'm not taking you with me for season 4.
Like you have a choice.
Fantastico Disaster Piece Theater.